I remember like I asked Danny, I'm like, yo, is there any way I can train like somehow? And he like, yeah, I'll talk to them and see maybe you can clean the gym, clean the mirrors, clean the mats and whatever. And then I started working like at midnight.
Hell
Funny,
yeah.
it's at midnight.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
I would wait for the last class at 11 o'clock and I'll just go and start like mopping the floors, clean the gym, and then.
Whoa, 11 was the last class.
Yeah, they had class
Damn.
all the way through like it was a 24 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was 24 hours. Actually, Danny used to like live there pretty much. He wouldn't live.
Damn,
the gym
24
sometimes.
hours I feel like would kill it though. They should keep that shit up.
Wow.
Yeah, back in the days, like I said, there weren't gyms in Miami. They had everything at once. Like I used to go to a boxing gym. It was just boxing. That's it,
Well,
Maybe
which
like,
was huge in Miami.
Yeah, and like lifting. That's about it. Jiu-jitsu used to be like maybe a jiu-jitsu in a garage or something, but like just that.
About to say her name for real too. Actually, that is her name. Fuck. What's up, Pati? And her kid, bro. Her kid would be sleeping there too. It was so weird, bro. So weird.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? How's the world? How's life treating you? I hope it's well. It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro. And it's another beautiful Sunday here or Thursday at midnight for you when you're listening here at Midnight in Miami Studios. You know what I'm talking about? And it's a beautiful day. And why is it a beautiful day? Because we have a magnificent guest in store for you today. And before we get to the man, the myth, the legend that we have in store today, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm talking about? To my right hand side, for the first time in a while, you see rubby duckies. You know what I'm saying? Brings a smile to the face. Ladies, if you don't have rubby duckies in your face, what are you doing? You know what I'm talking about? Ladies, and that's not a met. Don't go there. Ladies and gentlemen, to my right hand side, we got Emi in his house. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Cracking that Sammy Adams.
Cheers to, I couldn't find any Irish, Scottish beer for St. Patty's, so we found the next best thing, a beer from Boston. It is what it is. I wasn't going to bring Corona for St. Patty's. So,
respect.
At least it's an English-speaking beer. And also shout out National Down Syndrome Day, blue and yellow. Gang shit.
Hell yeah.
Go out
Big
there and
shout
do
out.
your 3.21s.
Hell yeah. Do that shit. Ladies and gentlemen, behind the scenes, you know what I'm talking about? Behind the cameras, look at that excitement. You know what I'm saying? You see that face? He's like, oh my God, I can't wait for the people to see me on the camera. Ladies and gentlemen, get up because you're going to hear the magnificent stylist. Ignacio, we need a hello. We need you to go to the microphone. You know what I'm talking about? And that's a long way up from that.
He's got the face of somebody that just a finger approached a certain no-no area.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah. Spiked bat, no lubrication. How you doing?
Yo, what's up?
Oh, that's beautiful. A man, a few words, but God, do they mean a lot. You know what I'm talking about? That is Ignacio behind the scenes. Hell yeah. That man's a Broadway star. You're going to see him soon. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a day. You know what I'm talking about? And most days start like that. And in this, beautiful day, we have a magnificent guest, an accomplished gentleman, a fighting gentleman. You know what I'm saying? This man right here has traversed not only the country, but the globe in pursuit of his dreams. Not only in pursuit of his dreams, but in order to be able to garner the most useful tools, the most useful mixed martial arts practices that he can put into his arsenal to make himself the best all-around fighter that he can be. Ladies and gentlemen, to my left-hand side, we have MMA fighter Jonathan Chino Calderon.
Thank you very much, guys.
What's going on? What's going on, brother? How is everything?
Good.
How is...
Glad to be here.
Oh, glad to have you. Brother, first of all, thank you so much for dropping on by. We are very, happy to have you. And we have been looking forward to this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know, Jonathan actually dropped on by when Danny Chavez had his latest episode. He got to kick it with us, get used to the studio and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about. We got to see him a little bit there. But now it's all about Chino. You know what I'm talking about. And we are so very happy. Chino, tell us, where did the journey start? I like to begin in the roots. I like to, decipher where it all began. Jahaira was talking about it began in the streets of Homestead. Shout out. Beautiful, beautiful response. What made you start? Where did it all start for you? Where did it begin?
All right. For me, it started 2011 when I took it serious for first time. For me, the very first time I tried martial arts, or at least I tried jiu-jitsu, was back in the days when Danny was going to his first gym.
Okay.
I saw him coming home and practicing stuff. I didn't know what he was doing all the time. And he was just like, oh, I'm doing this armbar, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. One time, he came home really late and he's like, oh, can I see something? I'm like, sure. So he just grabbed my arm and...
That is so Danny.
And I'm like, all right, what is this? And he's like, oh, it's jiu-jitsu, whatever. I didn't know what it was. Then one day he's like, yo, I'm going to go watch some fights. You want to come over? I'm like, sure. So we started watching some fights. And I'm like, oh, shit, like, this is nice. I thought this was like a movie, I'm like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. And then
Kill Bill over here.
I asked him, I'm like, yo, can I come to see your classes, whatever? So I went in and they had like a free month trial. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna join the class today and see what happens. And
bro, and that's a good deal because you barely get it. Bro, you get a damn free day and you're lucky.
Yeah, bro. Back in the days, they weren't that many gyms anyways.
Yeah, so jiu-jitsu is new. Yeah,
right.
That was 2006, 2007. But yeah, like I did my first class. That's when I met my first coach, Enrico Coco.
Shout out.
I met him there, and then he taught me my first guillotine. It was the first time I did something. So we were reviewing that technique for a while, and then they put us to do like a live roll. And then boom, I got the person on guillotine, and I tapped him out, and I'm like, oh shit, it felt nice,
Hey.
Like, all right. And then I rolled with somebody else, and boom, another guillotine. It was my first class, and I was like, whoa. I felt like a natural at that time, but I feel like nobody knew what to do either. It was a beginner's class, so I was just getting the best out of it. I'm like, all right, cool, just get the neck and just crank it.
Hell yeah, bro.
And then
I'll call you Town Square getting everybody in that damn guillotine. Continue.
I'm sorry. And then I liked it, but when the month expired, I realized the payment was pretty high. It was pretty high back in those times, and I was just starting with work. I was only 17, turning 18, so I'm like, I guess I just wait a little bit, save some money, and come back. And then
yeah, bro.
I was so young. I was getting, I was starting like jobs and quitting jobs and having a girlfriend and partying and bullshit and all of that.
Yeah.
Wasting hella fucking money, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then I decided to just kind of like dropped away, whatever. Then after, I remember like I asked Danny, I'm like, yo, is there any way I can train like somehow? And he like, hey, I'll talk to them and see maybe you can clean the gym, clean the mirrors, clean the mats and whatever. And then I started working like at midnight.
Hell yeah.
Funny, it's at midnight.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
I would wait for the last class at 11 o'clock and I'll just go and start like mopping the floors, cleaning the gym. And then
11 was the last class.
Yeah, they had class all the way through like it was a 24 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was 24 hours. Actually, Danny used to like live there pretty much. He wouldn't live.
Damn,
the gym
24
sometimes.
hours I feel like would kill it though. They should keep that shit up.
Wow.
Yeah, back in the days, like I said, there weren't gyms in Miami. They had everything at once. Like I used to go to a boxing gym. It was just boxing. That's it. Well,
maybe which was huge in Miami.
Yeah, and like lifting. That's about it. Jiu-jitsu used to be like maybe a jiu-jitsu in a garage or something, but like just that. This one was offering everything. But when I first started, I saw it as I just wanted to learn how to do submissions, and I'm like, I thought it was cool. So I never thought of like fighting. My idea wasn't fighting, but like I said, I did like it. And I thought I was good at it. So I'm like, all right, I keep doing it. Some of his friends were some of the coaches there too, so they started teaching me, and then I started hanging out with them, and I just became that. But once again, like I started going in and out through the time. 2009, I joined boxing gym as well, and I did boxing for a year, but I never got to have a
Like a fight.
an actual fight. I just had training for a whole entire year. And
So just sparring for a year.
boxing is different. They didn't let me touch a sparring session for the first like 4 or 5 months.
Oh, wow.
I'm only allowed to do bag work and conditioning until they see you doing good, like consistent
good form.
training. Then they will put you to do mitts. I mean, I'll do mitts as well, but they give you more mitts in the ring, and then eventually they'll put you with like an amateur fighter, and then yeah. So I got to train with. I remember there was one of the upcoming 121. Like the weight divisions are different. Upcoming fighter they had in there, and I got to do a sparring session with him, and he fucked me up. So I knew how I knew how behind I was in that area. Like I said, I thought I was good in my hands too, but I was super behind. Like I said, I did a year, and then once again, work, all of that stuff put me out. Like I literally just kind of like gave up on that, you know. So yeah, I was at work leaving New Year's. I remember it was New Year's 2011 on January 1st. I was sitting outside of my job with one of my friends, and he started asking me, he like, yo, so what's your New Year resolution gonna be like? So I was like, I don't know, man, just I guess, you know, trying to get promoted at my job. I was a bar back at a bar, like just working at a bar, and I'm like, I wanna, you know, become a server, become a bartender. That'll be like my next thing.
Hell yeah.
Previous to that, I had tried going to college to do paramedic, but like I said, I work full-time job, so I couldn't really had time for school as well. Like I had a full-time
Plus, EMT school is serious.
It's
bro.
serious.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that hard. So I'm like, I dropped out too. So I'm like, fuck. I gotta do something for my life, you know. So my boy literally just asked me, he like, yo, why don't you go back to fighting, you know?
Now, how long had it been since you had stopped fighting at that point?
2007 to 2011.
Okay.
I was 4 years, but like I said, and during that time, I was literally in and out. The thing is, I used to work in bars all the time. Those 4 years, I was working in bars. So every time a fight will break in those establishments, I used to be the one taking people down.
Chino and bouncer.
Hell yeah.
I was close to the cops. I knew the cops in Miami-Dade and the security bouncers in the establishment that I was working at, because I was always the guy jumping in to take people down when something will happen. I was the guy breaking everything out. So
rocking some damn arm bars in the middle of fucking, you know.
Yeah, people used to just ask me, like, yo, when are you gonna fight? Whatever. So I'm like, nah, I don't. I just train, you know. So yeah, when my boy asked me about that, he told me, he like, yo, why don't you just go back and try to make it a career? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know, like if I got what it takes, you know. Like I train, but I don't know about like actual pursuing this as a career, you know. And he like, man, if you don't do it, you're never gonna know, you know.
Right.
So he kind of told me, he like, look, how about this, man? Like you go do that. He's an engineer, so he like, yo, I'm gonna do my thing, and then a few years from now, we'll see where we are, and we'll see what happens. And I'm like, yo, just commit to it. And I'm like, all right, cool. So we kind of like shared up with a beer. You know, maybe
beautiful.
it wasn't some Adams, but probably was another one. And we left it like that. 2 days later, I remember I told Danny, I'm like, yo, do you know what gym I can actually join in? And he was like, yeah, you remember Enrico? And I'm like, yeah. He has a gym around the house. So he took me there, talked to him, gave me a good price. And I started my journey. It was January 3rd. And the first thing he asked me was like, yo, what is your goal? Like, what is your intention? And I told him, I'm like, man, honestly, I just want to do something with it, like with my life. Like, I want to see where I go with it. I want to see like how far can I get with this? Like, maybe I can find something out of it. And I just started training. A month later, there was a competition, jiu-jitsu competition.
When you first started training there, what was the most challenging part, just right off the bat, before you even, you know, your first even jiu-jitsu competition?
What was the
most challenging part when you first started training, that first month at Enrico's gym?
I mean, I'll be honest. I think I would say maybe just my cardio. Right. I used to lift weights. So I was a lot bigger. I was like 150 pounds. When I started training, I was pretty stiff. So, but the good thing is I had a good understanding for movement. That's one thing that I always had. So when he would explain anything, I would just get it right away. I'm the type of guy that if I see you doing something, I can just do it like nothing. So I started watching him doing his technique, and I would just copy things as perfect as I could. And like I said, it took me a month until he like, yo, we have a competition. You want to compete? And I said, fuck it, I'm here anyway, so let's go. And I competed the first month, and I got second place.
Damn.
I lost my only match because the guy didn't want to open his guard, and I was literally trying to push, and then one of them he tried to like sweep me, and I put my hand, and just that hand gave him an advantage, and that was the only reason why I lost. And the guy and the kid, what I knew was the kid was the one of the camera guys' son. So
that damn corruption, bro.
That guy was
bro,
like, biased to it.
Yo, it's reaching the jiu-jitsu fucking circuit, bro. We've been calling corruption for years. We really have.
Corruption for
But
years.
yeah,
really have.
but then I'm gonna go into a long story short, so I don't make it so big. So basically,
We got time.
In the first year, my first 8 months, I competed somewhere about, if I'm not mistaken, 7 to 8 times, 8 tournaments in the first 8 years. Say 8 months, and I got my blue belt in 8 months.
Wow.
So it was a very advanced blue belt. I got, according to the system, usually it takes about a year or two to go from white to blue. And my coach gave it to me in 8 months. So I feel very proud about that. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm doing something good. Then after I continue. I remember like once I got my blue belt, I beat my first competition as a blue. I beat a guy who had just came from doing Worlds and got second place in Worlds, and that was my first match. And I didn't know who the guy was, and I tapped him out.
Wow.
And everybody was like, "Whoa, you just tapped out a guy who just came from the Worlds and got second place." And I lost to the guy who got gold.
Wow. Yo, give it up. That is crazy.
Yeah, my division. I mean, like I said, I feel like one of the hardest belts, especially to go through, is blue belt. So,
From white to blue or blue to
so blue to purple.
Yeah.
Like a blue belt, it takes way longer. It's so much to learn, man. I thought I was ready like 3 years after I was in, and it took me a long time to go from blue to purple, from purple to brown, but yeah, it was just like one of those things. It just takes time, got to be patient. So basically what it got me to fight, that's where everything starts basically. So my friends have started to become fighters, amateur fighters. I'm still just a grappler. And in one of them, I have a friend who's fighting for a belt, and he was fighting at Revolution Gym, I think, in Fort Lauderdale. And whatever, he fights, and with my girl at the time, and I'm on the second floor. He wins the belt, and I'm celebrating. I'm like, yo, congratulations. And then he's going like this to the belt, telling me. And then next to me, I have these two drunk guys who was going for the other guy. Oh. So the guy obviously started like looking at me.
Shout out Alex Martinez.
The guy started looking at me.
Dad.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, he said the guy looked at me. He like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, so I started like cursing at me, saying stuff. And like we all know, we have the girl who thinks her boyfriend can beat everyone, and he like, what did you just say? Yeah. Shut the fuck up before my boyfriend kick your ass up. And I'm like, whoa, I'm like, shut up,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, it's okay, whatever. So I can already tell the guy is drunk. The guy probably weighed like 185 pounds. He was a bigger guy. And his friend kind of like put him to the side, and he's like, yo, he's drunk, don't worry. He's like, yo, let's go. Don't turn to catch problems. I had a shirt from my gym, so he was like, oh, he fights, so he's like, nah, just chill, whatever. So what happened in there was because from the first floor to the second, you can actually see me like talking to the guy, whatever, in front of him. And I had one of my best friends who was the guy who I went to see in Thailand. His name is Emilio Urrutia, the honey badger.
Gang shit, bro. There's Emilios everywhere.
Hey, hell yeah, the honey badger.
The honey
Hell
badger. Yeah. He saw me arguing with someone upstairs, so he came right upstairs. And as he's coming up, the guy's already leaving, and he pretty much left, whatever. So he comes to me like, yo, what happened? And I'm like, nah, just some guy just trying me, whatever. He's like, all right, just let's go downstairs. So as I'm walking downstairs, the guy is sitting by the stairs, like he's in the middle, like this, like just like being a thug and stuff. So my girl walks down, I walk
Just
right
sitting
behind.
on the stairs, huh?
And I'm just yeah, he just like leaning to the side, and I'm like, all right. So I'm walking, and I looked at him, and I just laugh. I don't know. I have one of those on like whatever, and I keep walking, and he like, yeah, that's right. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Just
keep walking. Yeah.
Oh my
just
God.
like that. And then my boy was like, oh, and he like tap on the shoulder.
Fuagata.
Boom. No, nothing. Didn't say anything. He just clipped him around the mouth. And the guy like, oh shit. And then he like, oh, you're gonna mess with my little ass boy because he's little, whatever. He like, what about a nigga like me, whatever. Boom. And this the far stars, and then we get kicked out. It was really fast. It was like maybe 3 minutes. We get kicked out of the club. And then I go one way, he goes the other. The guy gets kicked out, and then all of a sudden I just see like 5, 6, 7 people just walking out too at the same time. Like it just became like a rumble in a little second.
Damn, sounds like Miami Beach last night, bro. All right.
Kind of type of thing. I mean, I heard something about that. But fucking dumb,
Friday night.
stupid.
Yeah.
Friday night. There you go.
Yeah. So anyways, as I go one way, he goes the other. I see this random dude. I don't even remember seeing him the whole entire night. And as I'm walking, I can see his intentions of wanting to swing at me for some reason. So I stopped, and then he literally tried to like rush me, and I just kept. I'm small, so I started moving. And he's just like, yo, stop moving. I'm like, touch me, you know? And I'm like, who the fuck are you, by the way? Like, I don't even know who you are. Like,
Who the fuck is this guy?
And then all I see is that he just looks to the side because he was like by the corner. So I turned this way, my boy turned the other. And then I saw him looking towards his right and just started running. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, is he just like waiting behind the wall for me to just show up? So I kind of look, and when I turn around, I see my boy getting grabbed by like 5 people.
Oh, shit.
Each guy had my boy in one arm, the other, their legs. Someone was trying to choke him from behind. He was literally held by 4 or 5 guys. And without even thinking about it twice, I just ran forward.
Fuck yeah, baby.
And the first person who I saw was the guy who I started the argument with. And he was trying to choke my boy. So the first thing I did, I just punched him right in the face. Boom. And then he let go of the choke. After that happened, 3 guys just came up to me and just rushed me, and then just started punching me and kicking me. I was kicking and punching back.
Oh,
That's what I was doing.
shit.
All I know is it was my boy Emilio and myself. That's it. And there were like 6 or 7 people.
Gang shit.
Just fighting in the middle of the street, outside. And and the funny thing is that I had another friend of mine there, but he had crutches, so he couldn't do shit. He was in
Throw those
crutches.
crutches, bro.
He like,
on,
he like,
fucking-
stop, guys, stop fighting. And he like, yeah, he was
Hell
like,
yeah.
And
You know,
so anyways, all I know
Sacrifice.
is that in that little second right there, I keep seeing. I guess I'm getting punched in the back of my back. I got thrown against a car, all of that stuff. And I look at my girl, and in one of them, she was arguing with a guy who I started with as well. And I guess she was grabbing him by the shirt. But I guess somebody pushed me forward, and I thought he pushed her because the vision.
Yeah, of course.
And I went red. Like
Hell
everything
yeah.
just turned, and I just started swinging. The last thing I know, somebody's grabbing me by my waist, pulling me back. I'm grabbing 3 guys. I'm bringing them forward with me, and they're like, "Yo, they left already." And I'm like, I kind of came back in sense. Like, I don't know. That shit was fast, but it just felt like a long time. And when I looked, the guys were already like a block away. But in my head, I just can see them. I can see everybody in my head. So it was a promoter from the actual promotion in there. And he was like, bro, are you a fighter? And I'm like, no, I don't fight. And he like, whoa.
Pacifist,
and he
bro.
like, and he like, bro, you're pretty good, man. You're fucking fighting
Are
3.
you a
You're
fighter,
fucking
bro?
fighting
Bro.
3 guys. You never went down. They were kicking you in the back. I was getting kneed, everything.
No, I'm
You
here
got thrown
with
against a car.
I'm here with the Peace Corps. I don't know what's going
My name
on.
is
I'm like-
Jonathan Gandhi Calderon.
No, I'm like, no, but I'm saying like I'll be honest. Like I grew up in Colombia as well, just like my brother. And
Shout out Colombia.
I live in really bad neighborhoods, and over there you don't really get a chance to be peaceful, not peaceful. Over there, like whenever it's mostly you fight for playing soccer and stuff like that. You know, you play.
Yeah.
You lose
Hell
a,
yeah.
you lose
Hell
a
yeah.
game or
No fue
whatever
adentro,
happens.
no fue
Oh
adentro.
no, that was a fucking foul. No, it wasn't,
Yeah.
bro. What?
Now it's gonna be.
No, you step on the person's
Hell yeah.
ball and then he falls and then you start a fight. But
Hell
like
yeah.
I fought so much in Colombia, like for anything you have to fight over there. So I always had to fight since I was young. But coming into America, I tried to avoid it a little bit just because first I was back into a country I didn't know. Second of all, I'm pretty short, like in height. I'm pretty short for the people who actually live here. Everybody's pretty tall. So I was like, I'm just trying to get in problems here. Another reason why too, when I started taking martial arts serious and like learning how to box and all that stuff, It was because I knew that I was gonna get myself some like one day or another. I was gonna probably have to face a fight, and compared to people here, like I said, they are pretty tall, and I'm sure they're gonna be picking on me more. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I gotta learn how to defend myself regardless, no matter what. So I already had that in the back of my head, but like I said, not really thinking about becoming a fighter until that day. That day when all of those happened, I felt. It was a weird sensation because, like I said, I've been in street fights before, but this was my first rumble here in
Miami.
In Miami.
Hell yeah!
And for me, like I said,
as a fight promotion.
And another thing, it was like my first fight as an adult as well, because I came here when I was 17. That fight happened when I was 19, so it was like literally my first rumble fight here in Miami as an adult too. So I was getting hit by men, like people that were older, like in their late 20s. And like I said, bigger too, because I remember I told the guy literally was a little fat, but he was like maybe like 185 pounds. He was a bigger guy, taller too.
I love how you describe your first fight like some girls describe their first kiss. It's just I love like it's beautiful. It's
like no, it's because there are some things in life, you know, that it marks and you remember them, you know. So for me, like that part, it was really important because I made a decision with that. Once that happened, I remember I went home and I started talking. I talked to my boy and I told him like, "Yo, she was crazy." He like, "No," and he like, "Yo, like, I feel like fighting for real. Like, now I want to fight," you know. So I went back on Monday because that happened on Saturday. I went back on Monday, talked to my coach. I'm like, "Yo, so the guy in the back, like the one that put me out, he gave me this card. He told me if I ever wanted to fight, what do you think?" And he like, "What do you think?" You know, like
he's like, "You motherfucker."
I know exactly. He like, "What do you think? Do you want to do it?" And I'm like. I asked him, "Do you think I have the
whatever? Like, do you think I can make
it?
Yeah.
Like, do you see it in me?" And he did tell me, he like, "Look, you have to sit in yourself, you know, before anybody else does. Right. But you do have a big." He told me, he like, "You're very talented." He like, "The reason why you have your blue belt in such a short time because you're very talented. You put a lot of time. I literally train Monday through Saturday 2 times a day, having a job still. I still went training every single day, every day." I went in the morning and then a night time for the most part, you know, when I couldn't. When I couldn't on the weekend, I'll be like one of my friends at a backyard just doing,
just doing some drills and stuff.
So what drove you? I mean, what drove you like to continue? You know, when you're busting your ass, you know, it's not easy to work and to have to still have 2-a-days, Monday through Saturday. You have to have some sort of drive, some sort of ambition that's out of this world. What was the reason behind it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I guess it was just that too. Like I spent a lot of times working midnights and like, you know, restaurant business. I want to be out of the business already. I'm like, yo, I need to get out of this life. Like I want something better. I always wanted something better. I feel like since I was very young, I always thought that I was gonna be something good, like something greater, you know, like it was something bigger for me. Even when I was in Colombia, they're like, you don't really see people have more than a regular job. Like people over there, they don't really get to have much. So I always thought of myself like I was gonna be more than that. And when I came here and I got to see the opportunity, I still follow into and to be a regular person because, you know, school or whatever. I still knew that I was gonna be able to do something more, something bigger than my regular people. So I kind of like took that as a sign, like, okay, let's try to see maybe fighting is for me. And when I started fighting, like I literally said to myself, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna bring jiu-jitsu. Like I'm gonna be tapping people out. Like I don't care about knocking people out, but I'm gonna try to tap people out at first. That was like my whole idea. I'm like, I'm just gonna do jiu-jitsu into MMA and just trying to get my submissions and win by submissions and, you know, be that guy.
That Habib, you know?
Kind of, you know. And like I said, the good thing is I had great coaches too. You know, I had my wrestling coach, Mike Rio, which was like an incredible wrestler from high school, and he has many other like what's it called?
Accolades.
Yeah, and he made it to UFC as well. So, like I said, I had good guidance in my career. So, like I said, I just started taking one fight at a time. You know, I got my first fight. It was 4/20, 2012. That's when I had my first fight. I fought a guy from my brother's gym. I was MMA Masters. I was against MMA Masters in my first fight.
Oh, shit. Okay, shout out. All right. I just watched Superman vs. Batman. I see the resemblance, you know?
Yeah, but I pretty much was my first fight. And I almost got fight of the night. It was a really, really good fight. I was getting thrown around a lot. I was trying to wrestler, so he was picking me up and slamming me all the time. And then I ended up pulling it off anyways. I ended up using my jiu-jitsu, turn him around, mounted him, started punching, almost submit him, did all of that stuff. And then I got the victory by a split decision. And like I said, from there on, it was just like, it just took off. I'm like, all right, this is it. So I went and continued to fight my next fight. Second fight, I fought another guy. I armbar him in a minute 11 seconds of the first round. So, okay, like, all right, this is it, And like I said, just the fight just from there on, you just continue just to be that. Just like, all right, let's see like where we head from here,
Right.
So it seems like that, that moment was definitely a turning point. That one fight, that brawl in Miami, or Rumble in Miami, as you like to refer to it as, was kind of the defining moment for you.
Yeah.
As far as taking it serious. At what point did the whole you're a blue belt, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a blue belt by that point, correct? When did the whole traveling come into play? What you had an experience in Thailand, what was that like? And furthermore, you talk about grappling a lot. How confident are you in your grappling compared to your stand-up game?
All right. So, okay. So in 2016, I had taken a little break from fighting as well. Once again, this is all due to work and bills and, Miami's
life, baby, life.
It's just life. So I pretty much took a little break, and then I remember I was just feeling a little bit, I'll say a little bit depressed in a way, because I wasn't fighting for like almost a year or whatever, like half. I'm like, fuck,
And this is due to work.
It's just due to work. I was just working a lot. One of the things everybody does is like I'll try to chase money. I had a girl. I was living with my ex, so just trying to like have a better life, just like anybody else want to have a better life.
Hell
and I
yeah.
started chasing money, and then that put me to work 2-3 jobs because I wanted to just make money. And then when I realized that my intentions of what I started doing, which was training and fighting, had gone away. My head kind of like went like fuck, like I'm not really happy, about what I'm doing. I'm getting money, but I'm not really living the life that I want, kind of thing. So I remember I called James. I'm like, yo, I need a fight, I need something. So he's like, yo, the only thing we have right now is this guy, but he's a champion. Do you want to fight for the belt? And I'm like, fuck it, I'll get it. I remember I had 5 weeks for the fight.
Wow.
And I wasn't training. I was training once a week on Monday only.
Wait, correct. Wait, so you coming out of a year off, just go for a belt?
Yeah, because there are not that many 25ers anyways, and the guy had already won the belt, and it was nobody at 25 to fight him anyway. So I'm like, I'll fight. I already had fights under my belt anyway.
That takes balls.
So I'm like, fuck
dude,
it.
after a year off, that's kind of
Right.
And
those 5 weeks to prep, were you prepping for real?
Yeah, no. When I said that I wanted it, I'm like I said, I wasn't only training once a week. I was only training on Mondays, which is the hardest class at my gym back in those days. So what I started doing was I started running every night. I was living on the beach, so I was like running on the beach every night. I would run 4 miles. I had a boxing gym close where I lived, and I had a boxing coach there. And then he started taking over and helping me out a lot. And I told him, look, I have a fight coming up. And he's like, all right. He just got me under his wing. And
shout out boxing coach. You know what I'm saying?
his name is Alejandro. Actually, a funny thing, he's Argentinian.
Es un pibe. Vamos,
Es
es
un
un
pibe.
pibe. Vamos, qué grande, qué grande.
He's one of, I think, by far, he has been one of the greatest boxing coach I have had. For that camp, we had not that much time to work together, only 5 weeks. And then I still went to work with my coach. I started increasing my days of training with Enrico as well, as much as I could. And the day of the fight, I had them 2, and I had Danny as my corner, them 3. And I think that day, it was the time where I realized there was a lot of things happening in my brain. I wasn't nervous. I was really confident just having my corner, knowing what I did preparation for that camp, and I ran through that guy. Like I honestly, like I felt like my striking was on point. whatever.
So you took the belt.
I took the belt.
Wow. Yo, what? Can we give it up for this
That's
man?
crazy,
God damn, that is amazing. Golly, after a year off.
Yeah. So like I said, after that I said, all right, fuck it, I'm turning pro. Like I don't want nothing else to do with the amateur world, because honestly,
How many fights was that with this belt? How many
with
fights
that
had you done
belt
amateur?
was
Not including jiu-jitsu tournaments, but
7.
like 7 amateur fights.
7 amateur fights. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you something, because Danny had briefly touched upon this subject when he came through.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you do you think that you took a lot of damage in your amateur career?
No. So when I started fighting, first of all, when I started fighting, it was a rule that you have to do 5 amateur fights. Back in the days, there was no rule.
5 amateur.
Yeah.
Before going pro?
Yeah, for going pro.
That's a
You have to do
lot.
5 amateur fights for you to be able to go pro. That's here in Miami. You can go anywhere else in the country or whatever and fight and become pro. But
Miami
if
or
you're in
Florida?
I'll say Florida.
Okay.
I think it's Florida. It's the whole Florida. I'm just Miami.
No, of
Yeah.
course.
So like here in Miami, that
Yeah,
was
Miami's all that matters. In
that was
Florida. I agree.
that was
Be
that was the
honest.
rule. That was the rule. Like, all right, you gotta fight 5 fights, and then you can turn pro. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I guess I'll have to do my 5 fights, and then turn pro after that. So yeah, like I said, I just did it. Danny didn't have to go through that. He just went. He did, I think, a kickboxing fight, and then he just went pro after that because he started fighting before that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, Danny's a fucking psycho.
One amateur, huh?
Yeah, but I didn't receive that much damage. One thing I did got was I fought a real man when I was 25. He was
real
30.
man.
He was 31, 32. Man strength,
Dude, that man
shit.
strength is a real
Yeah.
thing.
No, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grown man strength is a real thing.
Yeah, he was a guy from Cuba. He was a Olympic wrestler from Cuba. Trained with Alexis Villa. I remember, and the guy caught me by doing like how do you say, like not the wrong thing, but he wasn't like the most clever fighter. He was just like a swinger, more like a brawler, kind of like Chocolatelle style.
Okay.
Okay.
And I went to do the right thing. I threw my jab, I threw my cross, and I slipped my head to the side. And he literally was throwing swings and just caught me around the nose and broke my nose. That's one of the fights that I lost because the referee did a stoppage on the first round going to the second round. So I came out of the second round and was just gushing blood, and then they stopped my fight.
Oh, they couldn't stop the bleed.
They couldn't stop the bleeding,
Oh,
and the guy was already tired. Like he was already tired.
He
like,
would've
was
lost.
Gas, and I told the guy, I told the referee, I'm like, don't stop the fight because I'm gonna take this guy
gonna
down
fuck
now.
him up, dude.
And then
Let me break his
like I
fucking
said,
nose.
Unfortunately, my nose just didn't want to stop.
Fuck.
So we just left it at that.
The nose didn't cooperate. Did he feel pain, or was the adrenaline so?
No, I did feel pain. Like the guy punched. I think I'll be
mean, he
honest
broke
with you.
your
That
nose,
was
yeah.
That was the first time that in my head, I was thinking this guy is hitting me with bricks.
Oh,
like I never been hit so hard in my life.
And this was what, boxing, MMA?
This is MMA.
Gotcha.
And I have I have 14 fights right now.
So you guys are just doing what, 8-ounce gloves?
We're doing 6-ounce gloves.
Okay.
And for a second I thought he had something under his
gloves. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this guy punched like a freaking truck.
Right.
But yeah, I got punched maybe like 7 or 8 times after my nose was broken. I still not went down. I just kept going with my broken nose. I'm like, fuck it. But yeah, that was it. Like that was the only thing that I actually got. Everything else, I had other losses. It was just decision. Damage. I don't feel like I have received. I received more damage during training. That's when you receive the most damage because you train for so long, and sometimes I had popped my knees before. I had popped my ribs before. My elbows, my shoulders, my neck. I received so many things. I split my toes open. I had stitches through a kick.
Sounds
Stuff like
fucking
that.
horrible.
Is it hard for you to find the balance when in training, as far as
Going too hard?
as far as going too hard or going too soft and not getting enough work done?
Well, like I said, everything is an evolution. Back in the days, we used to spar with MMA gloves and just go at it. And like I was spar with people who are I was always the smallest guy in the gym. I used to weigh 125 pounds, and I used to fight 125 pounds too. I never cut a pound for none of my fights. So,
Praise
only
God.
until my last fight when I caught. Well, I actually got to cut good weight.
Because you walk at 125?
I used to walk around 125. I was a very small guy. The fights that I had here in Miami never cut a pound. I did cut. My first time was when I went to Australia to fight there. I cut my first time 10 pounds, and then my last fight I got to cut, I think, somewhere around 12.
How was it? How was that for someone with a smaller frame?
For me, it was hard the first time because my body fat percentage is very, very low.
Right.
I walk around maybe 5-6% body fat, total body fat in my body.
Igual.
Yeah. That seems a little high, bro. That seems a little high.
So yeah, like the recommended is like I said, is 5. But I mean, obviously having more is better. You can cut better. But
right.
I'm pretty lean. So the first time I didn't know how to do it right properly. I was dieting, which I was doing good with that. I had a dietitian when I was there, and I was doing good. But I guess just the sauna, all of this stuff, I overdid it, and I had to fly too from one city to another 4 hours. Got there the next day. I didn't have a gym to go to. Then I ended up doing it in a bathtub. And I had like two more pounds to go, and I was just dying. Like I was just drained.
What do you think? I mean, what do you think about cutting weight? I don't know if you saw the video of her name doesn't come to mind right now.
Yeah,
but
the girl who fainted in the.
Yeah, she was. I mean, honestly, so for those of you who haven't seen it, I would say that the video is on screen, but the UFC is gonna fucking take that shit down. So, basically, she was doing her weigh-in the day before the fight. It looked like a normal weigh-in. She gets on the scale, does your typical fist up. The guy's, right there adjusting, checking the weight, and she collapses. And the worst part about this is that they sit her down. I think they give her like a sip of water, which she's like denying, of course. I mean, I get it. And they let her get back on the fucking scale to make weight, and she faints again after making... I guess like as soon as she made weight, or she was like making weight, and then she collapses again, hits the back of the promotion board, and they pick her up and they cancel the fight after. But the fact that they let her get up there a second time is fucking.
I didn't see a second. I mean, I only saw that part. I didn't know it was the first part.
It was pretty bad.
I do say like in the beginning it's hard when you're starting to do sport, especially because you don't have a team by your side. I'm not saying that once you make it to UFC you might have it, but it becomes a little more professional,
right?
Towards that area, like you should have professionals working by your side. If you're already in the UFC, especially if you have fought before, you probably have some money. Just invest in a good, dietitian, someone who can just, guide you right through that part, because that part is very important. You're training, yeah, you can train all you want, all this stuff, but that little part right there, that little fight you have to have before the fight,
right? Which
is the cutting weight, especially if you're another thing is that these people that are trying to kill themselves so much to cut so big, Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not that big, like people have told me, yo, you should go to 115 and go fight in one championship. And I'm like, fuck that.
That's a huge cut.
They don't allow you to cut over there, but I'm like, I'm not going to say that's smart either. You know what I mean? But if you look at me, I don't walk around 160, like I don't cut down 30 pounds just to trying to beat someone else because I'm just bigger. Don't get me wrong. That's usually what people do to win. But damn, I mean, if you're going to do it right,
Right.
Don't just kill yourself, because at the end of the day, that's going to affect your performance.
Plus, you have a shorter lifespan. If you keep doing that, your body, it can only take so much.
It is so much your body go through. Your body go through a lot of stuff during that time. You're cutting, yeah, of course. And like I said, it mostly affects your performance. Like your brain too. Like you can get easily knocked out the day of the fight because your brain don't get
like that girl that fainted.
Yeah.
If she would have fought, I mean, she would have been a step off.
Yeah,
immediately.
She probably would have
she's already passed out one time.
Just one touch can literally just black you, and that happens.
You had mentioned the effect that it does, that it has on you, on your performance. What do you think of, for example, the latest Masvidal fight? He had taken last minute against Usman, and he had I think it was like, I mean, he barely had I don't think he had he had no camp. He had a couple days. He had to cut something ridiculous.
Yeah,
but now they're running it back with a full camp. What do you think? What do you expect out of that?
I mean, I'll say, look, I know Masvidal for sure. He was training, I feel like when you get to a level, right, of like especially when you're in the UFC, you never really stop training. Even if you don't have a fight coming up, maybe you're not in camp like training that like intense, but you're still training.
Yeah, you have to maintain.
You
I
still
mean, that's your
maintain.
profession.
You still go every day to train. Because you never know, you maybe get a call just like that. He probably was expecting that call to happen. I'm not saying that it happened, but I bet you he was training, but he was not probably cutting weight, which is that's what happened.
Well, at the time he was trying to leverage an offer. I don't know if you remember, because that was the original fight, and then he had a number in mind, and Dana was
Exactly.
like, "No, I'm good," and then he ended up paying the big bucks.
Exactly. So when we think about him, like I said, he wasn't training like he would train for a camp, but at the end of the day, he was training. And then, what can I say? Usman, he has proved everyone he's a man in that division, Masvidal, he's a true warrior, he's a killer, man, I wouldn't know what to say about this fight, because like I said, both of them, they have big arsenals on where they're good at, with a full camp. Like I said, it all depends. Can Masvidal stop Usman from stopping on his feet? I don't know. I mean, maybe, But I don't know what else can Usman bring to the table, Like, I don't know. Because I think, was it Usman supposed to fight somebody else, right?
Yeah, they were supposed to fight someone else, and then they
changed. So like I said, at the same time, you're focusing on another fighter, something different. Now you're fighting George Masvidal. It's a bigger name too, but it's a different style. He's more like a stand-up, kickboxer, Muay Thai style. Horrendous kicks, heavy puncher. Different. A little bit different than somebody else who was supposed to fight before. So he had to adjust to the fight, and the way he got to do it, he got it done. For this fight, I don't believe he will probably come up with the same game plan, which will be, stepping on his feet. But that's what he had to do for the fight. So,
yeah, Masvidal's like, he tweeted, he's like, "Oh, what's the over and under on him going for my Crocs in the first round?" About his own fight, which I think is fucking amazing. But that's Masvidal, baby. You got to sell tickets somehow, which kind of brings me into my next topic of conversation: selling tickets. What necessity, if any, do you feel that there is for the showmanship of the tension between two fighters? Do you feel that there is a necessity in bitching someone out, in flicking them off, this and this and that? I don't know if you saw last night's fight.
The girls,
the girls, flicking each other off after the fight. Let's go for a fucking round 6, baby, and let's do this shit. I love that.
Well, the girl was just annoyed about the fact that she couldn't get up from that position.
Yeah, she
which is understandable, because pretty much she came out of fight and then she really couldn't do anything from that position. But at the same time, I mean, if you cannot get out of that position, how can you blame the other girl if she just got you there,
Right.
But she was just very frustrated. That's what it was. She was just frustrated because she's screaming the shit like, "That's what you got, bitch," like, and the other girl like, "Fuck you," like all of that happened. But it was pure frustration because she couldn't get going. She had a good time when she had the stand up and she just popping her. But the moment the girl clinched her, grabbed her, and just every single time she got the head, going to the ground, and she couldn't do shit from there. And like I said, what like the shit talking and stuff like that. I mean, that depends, man. If we look at like Conor McGregor, he was great at it. He was so good at
the best.
That's the thing, though. You need to be good at it.
shit talking.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then if you're not, you get a moment like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah,
Because then you
look
try to
like an
talk
idiot.
shit to
Yeah.
Connor, and Connor's like, who the fuck? Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
but like I said, I mean, that sells fights. I'm not gonna say nah, but I believe your skill sells more fights. I mean, if you're fucking a guy who's killing it in a fashion way, that's gonna put you in the lights. So,
Have you ever gotten into a fight with real bad blood between you and your opponent?
no, I actually never shit talk to anyone.
They never got in your face at weigh-ins, nothing like disrespectful.
No.
That's all. I mean, that's a good fucking track
I was
record.
gonna say that's crazy, but not.
Right. Because I mean, most people that we have on here definitely
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
story or two regarding that.
That is weird, man. I actually look. I'll be honest, man. Like my whole entire amateur career, I found nothing but undefeated guys. My first guy was 1-0 when I was 0-0. My second guy was my second guy was 2-4. My third fight, the guy was 2-0. Then the guy was 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, and then I went.
It's like Candyland over here.
I was
bro.
just going for people on the field. I like to fight real fights. Honestly, I don't.
Hell yeah.
I feel like my amateur career was made for that. It was just to build the confidence, build the like you can fight people, who are good, because that's how you challenge yourself. When I turn pro, if I only fight tomato cans, what you call them. What am I expecting when I get to the pro level? Like I'm probably gonna get my ass whooped in front of everyone.
Latas de tomate, esta lata de tomate, dude.
Yeah. God. So like every time they were like, "Oh, you want this guy?" and I'm like, "What's his record?" and I'm like, "Oh, he's 1-3, 1-4." I'm like, "Nah, fuck that. I don't want that guy."
So do you feel the record is that important?
Definitely, it gives you a lot more experience. At least like I said, for now, like my first fight as a pro, I lost a split decision, and the guy was 1-1. So at least he had 2 fights. I had 0 fights in my amateur MMA. I mean, I'm a pro MMA, but I had already fought amateur before. I fought semi-pro, like I said before, in Australia. So I had already my experience. But like I said, when it comes down to that, like right now that I'm starting my career, fighting a guy who's 0-0. 1-0, 1-1, that's fine. Like after that, like once I know I'll probably, continue to win my next fights, I definitely want to start continue to fight guys who have good records, because like I said, the better people you fight, the better you become. That's just the way it is.
That's facts. I mean, do you know who Kevin Holland is? He's actually one of the he fought last night. He was the main event. What do you think? So, in case you have, I mean, you've probably seen. I know you're big on the talk. You've probably seen him.
Shit. Shout out TikTok.
Right. He's big on the talk. He is a fighter who constantly, when he's fighting, he'll have a full blown conversation with you. Full blown mid fight. Last night,
fucking ballsy.
Last night, Khabib was in the audience next to Dana White. He was asking Khabib for wrestling advice. Mid fight.
He's gonna get caught one of these days.
No. He lost. Well, that's the thing.
Honestly, look, it's one thing they say, like, have fun in the cage, and another thing is just be stupid in the cage.
Right.
He lost the fight and he was okay about it. And honestly, like I said, to me, I mean, for losing a fight hurts, man. You work. I mean, I understand. You want to be flashy. You're cool. All of that. That's good. But if you're winning,
right.
If you're losing, bro, he first. I mean,
then
the first thing that happened. Yeah, the first time that happened, he slipped. He slipped in the first round. The guy got on top. He never looked for getting up, and understandable. It was 5 rounds. So maybe he's trying to just.
I'll give him the first
fight to gas and whatever. Like that's okay. Comes the second round, he gets taken down. Blah blah. Like.
And he's still talking.
And he's still talking the whole entire time, which is, like I said, the talking is fine as long as you're doing something. But he just continued to just outwork, whatever. Third round comes, same things happened. He gets to strike him. He actually, rocked him. And then gets overexcited. It happens. A lot of times somebody get rocked. He got too close. The guy took him down again, got to the ground. And then he just continue to talk, continue to laugh, continue to do all of this stuff. But bro, you're losing. Like, why are you not trying to get up?
Dana White said he had a mental breakdown. Like, it was so weird.
It was at one point he was in the corner. And he said something. I don't know what he said, but in one of the he was second to third or third to fourth.
Oh yeah. He was like,
happened, and he's like, I'm confident on myself. I don't know. If
he's like, his coach is like, I believe in you. He's like, I believe in me too, but damn. Like,
He's like, yeah, but damn. I'm like, but damn what?
But damn what? You're giving up already.
Exactly. I'm like, do you already gave up? Like, you cannot stop his takedown. What's going on? Because, like I said, like, you
maybe that's like his nervous tick, his need to fucking talk all the time.
Like, he'll have these like sly comments. Like he'll be in a bad joke and he'll choke and he'll refer to the fighter by their first name and he'll be like, hey, Nate, come on, don't be joking me like that and shit like that, like making a joke out of it, but you're still losing. Like, I mean, I get it. It sells fights.
It could be another tactic, Like usually, I mean, when you think about it, when I'm sparring, I'm sorry. Well, sometimes when I'm sparring, when I'm doing grappling or whatever the fuck, I'm in the gym. Sometimes you tend to talk to your friends because you're laughing at, you're gonna take me down, you're bullshitting. In the gym, and don't get me wrong, could you translate it into the ring? Yeah, of course. If you have the charisma, that's completely fine. You know what I mean? But like I said, like it's different when you're getting outworked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you start looking like a fool.
But he like I said, I don't know if he's using it as a tactic, so the guy can just kind of like mellow down a little bit. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a lot of tricky shit.
Well, that's
in the game that I'm learning now. Even I learned to Danny as well. It's a lot of things that he told me in my last fight that he like, yo, I didn't like you doing this, and that. And I'm like, why? And he like, because, you know, sometimes when you do this, you give the guy confidence of something. Like even just to fist pump, for example, you know, like when we finish the round, and he like, oh, good shit. And then you go, oh, yeah. And then now you're building his confidence of coming back to you the next round. Like, oh, yeah, he respects me. You know, like, no, you show no respect. You show no love. Because at the end of the day, you want to kill the guy. And the faster you want to kill the guy, the better. So you have to have that killer mentality too. Like I said, I don't know, maybe by him talking and being so, you know, like friendly, it will mellow the guy down, and then now, boom! All of a sudden, the guy just not himself.
You let your guard down on him.
Exactly.
Maybe the guy thinks like, oh, he's a joke. I'll take it easy on him.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it could be tactics. You know, it could be nerves that he's just trying to talk to himself. You know,
like that's what I'm saying. It sounds like a nervous tick if he just doesn't shut the fuck up.
Like for example, in the beginning of the 5th round, he had lost every single round. Kevin, who was losing, went into tap the glove in the beginning of the 5th round, and he did not. You know, the other guy did not tap gloves, even though he had won every single round. He was fully focused, and he even spoke about it after the fact. He's like, I know. I mean, it's a fucking chess game. I know what he's doing, and he's trying to get in my head. So it's like, oh, okay, now we're friendly, but now he hits me. You could knock me out in the 5th round, even though I won every single round. You know. Right. So I mean, I get where he's coming from. I don't know if it was a mental breakdown, as Dana referred to it as, but I do agree with you in the sense that after the fight, bro, not even 10 minutes after the fight, after the actual fight, he posted a video of him. Oh, I'm beat up. It's fine. I'm still going to talk. If you don't want me to talk, stop watching my fights or some shit like that. I don't know. It looks like you don't care.
Like I said, people have different mentalities, but you got to understand one thing. First, he's his top 10 fighter, right?
His first one, because he was on a fight winning streak.
And if you're trying to run for a belt, you know, or you're trying to be in the top 10, you know, you're trying to be recognized in this sport. Like I said, you got to take your shit a little more serious, you know. Like, look, I said, I'll give you an example. Conor McGregor, he talk all his shit, but when it comes down to actually do the walk the walk and talk the talk, he will say and do what he was gonna do, you know. This one, he was a little bit more. Well, yes, yeah. Well, I'm talking about his glory days.
Shout out Dustin Boy here.
I'm talking about his glory days. Right now, like I said, he's off track. You know, I don't count him out just yet, but he's definitely, everybody got to get their time. You know,
I love the tweet of his game plan for the next fight. He goes, guys, we're gonna check the calf kick. I'm like, oh shit, wow, that's fucking genius. Wow.
Checking calf kick hurts too.
Groundbreaking. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week we have two segments. You know what I'm talking about, and one of those is actually the movie review of the week. You know what I'm talking about? And every single week we ask our guests, whomever that may be, Chino, this week, for example, a movie, a film, a TV show. Last week we did a video game. You know, we did video games. We had a video game developer in the studio. Shout out PlayStation. Shout out Sony. So yes, any sort of media that you refer to, you know, obviously Danny always goes to what's that fucking anime called?
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan. I wonder what he's gonna do.
I remember the tattoo too.
He got me into it too.
Hell yeah. So any sort of media, whatever it may be, something that maybe during fight week, or obviously we're not in fight week yet. Definitely fight prep 3 weeks out. 3 weeks out, if I'm not mistaken, and 1 week by the time you guys see this. But yeah, something that maybe gets your head off the fight coming up, or something that gets you to chill.
I mean, for my last fight, I was watching anime too for my last fight. He really got me into a couple of shows. Right now, I'm watching Death Note.
Death Note?
Yeah, Death Note.
Oh, okay. I've heard great things though.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I like it, man. I like it.
But the anime or the Netflix live action one?
I heard that one was garbage.
No, the anime one.
Okay, because I heard it was trash.
Netflix has it too. No, not the movie. No.
Actually, Keita told me it was garbage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I heard it was like the live action Dragon Ball. It's just you don't speak about it. Like
we don't talk about that shit. I didn't know they did a live action Dragon Ball.
What? Oh, okay. I was like, damn. That was good fucking acting. You got me with that one, bro.
Bro, that's an hour and a half
shit.
of my life I don't get back.
God,
Gotcha, bitch.
Okay, so a couple animes that you can recommend for the people at home. I mean, it doesn't have to be animes. It could be a movie, whatever you want.
Oh, I mean, I watch.
He's like, can't say that on the air. He's like,
I mean, Attack on Titan. Tonight is Attack on Titan.
Oh, shit, is it?
I'll be Danny tonight. Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I've
okay.
been watching right now. I watch a lot. Like I said, I watch a lot of other ones, but I already finished them. So like the Seven Deadly Sins. I've been a few of them, but right now, on top of my head, it's kind of like, nah, I forgot them, the names. Right now.
Okay. So
I'm pretty bad with, bro, trust me, I'm pretty bad with names. I get hit a lot of things.
Yo, CT's a real thing,
bro, that's
CT's a
CT
real
flare up, boy. God.
thing. The other fucking on Wednesday, my uncle posted a picture of his daughter. She was born 3 months ago, and I saw a picture on Facebook, and I was like, oh shit, I sent him a message. I was like, yo, congratulations, that's awesome. She's beautiful. And he texted me back. He's like, yo, the message right above this is you congratulating me 3 months ago. And I look and I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I completely spaced. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? I'm like, dude, listen, way too many concussions. I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Bro.
But another thing I can tell you, man, honestly, I don't watch TV at all. I don't watch TV. I've been watching anime lately, but usually I try not to watch TV. Like, I try to focus on a lot of other things. So like right now I'm going through a different side of my life, which is like trying to build wealth and stuff like that. So I'm reading a lot of like books about that. I literally follow a couple of guys that are into like stocks and stuff like that. So that's like what I'm doing right now. So I spend a lot of my free time into doing that. That's like another chapter of my life. Now that I'm in my 30s, like I'm 32 right now. So like, of course, I'm doing my fighting career, but in the meantime, I'm like, all right, it's different ways to build wealth as well. So I'm there exactly. I'm doing
Bro, that's the Wolf of Wall Street of MMA, baby, right there. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
If we don't make that money out of MMA,
gotta have the backup.
Like I said, you gotta remember, like a lot of us fighters in the beginning of our careers, we don't make shit, man. Like most of the money that we make right now literally goes into. So if I think about it, into my preparation, gas, food, I eat organic all the time.
Pay the man, Dana.
So when you start in your career, when you're getting paid $1,000, $2,000 to fight, you got to do your blood work, your eye exam, your brain scan, or whatever they ask you for. Now you have COVID
test now.
So how much money do you think you spend?
You got to pay for all that. You got to pay for the COVID test too.
I mean,
unless you're doing Fight Island and shit like that.
No. I'm saying like. You do, depending on the organization. But like I said, I have sponsors for that.
Okay.
Gladly. So at least, like I said, when we think about people who don't have the sponsors, or people who are just starting, nobody knows who they are, they don't have sponsors, they got to pay out of their pocket. I used to do that too. Even as an amateur fighter, I didn't make no money as an amateur fighter.
Hell yeah. Shout out sponsors, baby.
Gang.
So that's another thing is like, you do this out of love. At the same time, like, and I'm not saying that I love to get hit, but I love the fighting game.
You love hitting them.
I love the fighting. Yeah, I do love the fighting game. So, like I said, I don't come in thinking of the money I'm gonna make. I'm just doing it because this is like, to me, is my journey. This is what I'm
Shout
building,
out Zack Snyder, baby.
Hell yeah. Okay. We'll get into it. No spoilers.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
But yeah, like I said, this is a sport that don't pay well. So like, you really know, when you love it, you love it. And I've been in this sport for 10 years already. And if I count how much money I had made out of it, trust me, I had lost more than I had made.
Amen.
I mean, just itself, my travel to Thailand just to learn a martial arts. I spent literally like 30 racks. I was there for 2 years. Just trying to go out there and just learn how to punch an elbow properly from motherland, and I'm like, all right, let's go over there and see what's going on. Got myself through a heavy training, doing the trials for Tiger Muay Thai to trying to get a sponsorship, which I got it for a year,
gang.
And then getting another sponsorship after, like going through all of that, taking money out of my pocket. When COVID happened and I have to turn back, I came back to my hometown, where, like I said, I had a brand new car, I had an apartment on the beach, I had my job dream went back in those times. I came back into having nothing because I left everything behind. I said, fuck it, I'm not coming back. And when I left with a 6 weeks ticket, and I said, all right, if it doesn't work, I'll figure it out. I'll go somewhere else. But I was just sick and tired of work. Like we were actually going on that before. I think you asked me that question, like, what would make me go to Thailand? I was just sick of just being a regular person. I said, fuck that.
This 9 to 5 ain't for me, baby.
Yeah, exactly, man. I'm like, no, I didn't have 9 for 5 either.
That's a luxury. That's a luxury.
But,
9 to 5, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m.
I was just sick and tired of the same bullshit. Like, I just feel like I just look around and the people who I was socializing myself with, not like I said, nothing bad about these people, but I just
who you are,
I just continue to see the same exact thing. You know, like everybody is like, "What are you doing?" Nothing. You know, just chill.
You know what? That's the biggest. That's the biggest thing in Miami, dude.
You wanna upgrade.
Everyone gets
You need to
comfortable
upgrade.
because everyone vacations here.
Yep.
So everyone's just comfortable doing the same bullshit
Everybody's on
every
vacation
day.
mode.
And like I said, I started to realize these little things. Like people come like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." I'm like, "Oh, you wanna go have a drink?" You like things
same
that are
bullshit.
just
Let's just
the
go
same
out.
bullshit. Like, yo, let's go out, let's spend our money and just be in the same shit. Let's go work the next day to try to
you work for the
get the
weekend.
money back. You know, like that's the rabbit hole I'm falling into. So I'm like, you know what, fuck, I gotta break out of this.
That's a damn
and
vicious
the best
circle.
way for me to do it was just actually leaving the city. I left the city for 2 months and I went traveling. I went with one of my cousins and I went traveling the States. And like I said, I had a good travel. You know, I got to see some other cities, and I started looking. I'm like, where would I like to live? You know, I went to California. I was in Colorado. I went to New York. I went to.
That's Mr. Worldwide right here.
Yeah, no, I travel a lot of the cities here in Miami, and I said, damn, I don't see myself living anywhere in the States. Like I just didn't like any place. You know, I have my friend that lives in Seattle, and I liked it, but it was too cold, man. I was like, fuck
It's
this.
gray all
But
day, bro.
I love the mountain. I love hiking. So I went there hiking a couple of times.
Mount St. Helen?
I love it. Huh?
Mount St. Helen? You did Mount St. Helen?
I did.
Right, that's the one up there. That's the one in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's another one. I think it's about
Yeah,
the snow one.
the volcano one.
No, that's Mount Rainier.
Mount Rainier.
Mount Rainier.
Where the fuck?
I
is
did.
Mount
I
St.
did.
Helen?
I did a part of it. I didn't do the actual Mount Rainier. That one is 17 hours. I think you have to go with gear and everything. But
Yeah,
I did
it's
another
awesome.
one which it's called the mailbox. Shit was scary as fuck, yo. It's like,
Yeah?
it
Sounds
was
like
like
a
haven't
trap
heard
it was
of
like
that. Yeah,
four.
Mount
It was
Rainier,
a
you're
four.
right.
It was a 4 hours. It was a 4 hours and.
Oh, that's the one that you were telling me that you could almost fall off the ledge?
But yeah, 3/4 through it became ice. So you have to, and it's rocks, and then there's nowhere to hold yourself from. So you're just going up. Like
But you gotta
on
go
your
with
own.
boots there.
No, we went in shoes like sneakers.
Gang shit.
We had no preparation.
Yeah, Yeezys on.
We were like, well, I had one pair of gloves, and my fingers felt like, you know, they wanted to, you know.
Oh, that
like a-
frost-
Yeah,
Frostbite
Mount
boy.
St. Helen is,
So, yeah.
is a little bit south from
Yeah.
Mount Rainier.
So that's when like I said, that's at that point was like, you know what, fuck America, I gotta get out of here for a minute, you know. And then I had already thought about going to Thailand back in 2013.
Bro, but that's crazy. You
Yeah,
went
let's
to
talk about that. You know,
Thailand
because this
to learn Muay Thai.
yeah. This
dude.
movie
That's
review
some-
of the week
that's
definitely.
some kickboxer shit right there.
Oh,
that's
100%.
some fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme takes
Dang.
over Asia kind
Man,
of bullshit.
I grew
God.
up watching those movies, man.
Hell
And
yeah,
that's
bro.
the craziest thing, man.
Kumite, baby.
That's how I felt, man, when I was out
Oh,
there.
Fuck yeah,
yo,
bro. What?
Like, I'm living my own movie, you know? Like, that's what I was doing. I was just living my own movie.
Wait, but I need to know how did it even come to be? How did the idea pop?
Did you know somebody
Was there
out there?
was there a damn flyer? Talk to me about the first little leaf.
Yeah, who said, yo, listen,
All right, so-
Muay Thai Thailand.
Yeah,
Make
okay.
it happen.
So right here it goes. My friend, what I used to work with back in the days, Emilio.
Honey Badger.
The
Hell
Honey
yeah.
Badger.
Dang.
He was already out
That's
there.
a dope shirt, by the way.
He was, that's his
Hell
signature
yeah.
shirt. So,
Come at it,
Hell yeah.
Godzilla.
Hey,
Touch
what's
these hands,
good?
fool.
man, that guy, props to that guy, man. Well, he left here as an amateur fighter. He said, fuck this, I want to go over there. He had another friend who was out there and was like, yo, just come by. Trust me, this is motherland. You're going to love it. So he just saved up money from work and left. And he told me, bro, just go. And I'm
Someone's like, "Yo, come to the motherland." I'm going.
yeah, and then he literally saved, and said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go and see what happens." And he did the same exact thing. He left, never came back.
Oh,
Then
He's
he
still
came-
out there.
Yeah, he left. He came back. He came back. I think to visit his parents, something like that. Sold his car. I don't know if he something like that, and he just went right back.
Wow.
And then he became a one championship fighter out there. He had a beautiful record when he was out there. So he well known guy out there too. You know, right now. So when he told me a couple of times, like I remember like 2013, he was like, yo, you got to come out here, man. There's a lot of small guys like you. If you want to make it in the sport, this is the place to be for you. Miami, shit. Back in those times, Miami didn't have many shows available either, you know? Like, maybe it would be like a 1 or 2 shows, and it would be like maybe once every 3 months somebody will fight, and then the cards will be so stocked, some fighters will not be able to fight, you know, constantly. So if you ask Danny, you know, he knows it, like, you know, like he probably will fight like once or twice a year because there were no shows. Not because they didn't want to fight, it was just no shows. So but like back in those times, I had my ex-wife.
Shout out.
I had my
shout out the lawyers. Shout out the lawyers.
So like I said, I was in a very serious relationship, and of course, you know, I was no thoughts about that.
Right.
You know? So about leaving, but then when it got to a point where things happen, like anything happens in life, and I end up separating, that's when I said, you know what, there's nothing holding me back anymore. I think the right thing to do is to do it, and all it took was one decision. I had already saved up money. I had money saved already from so much work I did, and all I did was I texted him and said, "Yo, I'm going," and he like, I told him like 4 times before that, I'm like, "Yo, I'm gonna go," and he like, "All right, just come in when you have the ticket."
Yeah, he's
and
like, bet.
And I just went ahead and bought the tickets. I bought the tickets a month before. I bought the tickets. I'm like, "Yo,"
and you got a round trip or on one way?
I had to get a round trip. You have to have a round trip.
Oh, you have to?
Yeah, because when you get there, they're like, okay, where are you going?
You gotta leave, bro.
Well, I mean, you don't have to have a round trip. You have to have a way in and a way out. So it doesn't matter where you go after. You can just go in and just go somewhere else after. But I didn't have an idea.
Yeah,
like,
because he didn't have Thai papers.
Yeah.
Right.
You need a visa, which I get a month visa, but then after that, what? You know, so you have to have.
It's just a 1 month.
Oh, they give you
visa?
1 month?
Yeah. Well,
oh, right, Thailand. Who the fuck wants to live in your country, dude? A month?
Well, that's the thing. It's different. It's different things. Like you
Putting
can go
a
to
damn
the
wall up over here,
to the
bro.
embassy and get
An extension?
a 2-month visa and an extension for 1 month, so you get 3.
Yeah,
and then you
okay.
leave the country and then do it again. And I lived for 2 years.
Wait, so you did
Shout
that
out,
every
bro.
3 months?
I travel every 3 months and sometimes once a month. Sometimes I have to travel through because every time I go to Malaysia, they will know because of stamps.
Mm-hmm.
So I just go through through the road
To the border, yeah.
to the border. So
And
that
then you
one
would turn
takes me,
around and be like,
that
"Yo, I'm
take
back
me-
in,
that
bro."
take me 12, 15 hours, 17 hours trip sometimes just
What a
back
pain
and
in
forth
the dick.
to the border.
Yeah, but that's fucking commitment, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's the grind.
I just wanted to grind it and get
Yeah.
out there. You know, like I said, it wasn't non-familiar to me because I come, you know, from a poor place, let's say like that, back in Colombia. So
Where in Colombia?
Bogota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was living in the south area of Bogota, which anybody
Shout out Rolos. Shout out Rolos.
anybody who knows Colombia, know the south, and know central Colombia, they know it's a hood, you know. So I'm not saying Thailand is hood, but Thailand is not. It's not like
It's not a first world country.
yeah, but they do have very beautiful places, you know, and stuff like that.
Listen,
So
dude, Thailand's one of the places I want to travel. Thailand, Singapore, Japan.
I was expecting, honestly, walking in there and being in the fucking jungle. I
Was it like the Hangover? Like, was it like that?
No, that's Bangkok. Yeah, but Bangkok, it does
I'm
look
gonna cut
like
that
Bangkok.
part out.
Juan's looking for the lady boys, dude.
I'm gonna cut
No,
that.
there's a lot of them.
I'm gonna cut that
There's-
part
there's-
out. I'm
Juan's
cut
looking
that
for the
part
lady
out.
boys
Yeah.
and the monkeys that are selling you drugs.
I'm gonna leave a note. I'm gonna leave a note to the editor. Cut that part out. What's it called?
Well, let's get into the real question here, bro. When
Yeah.
you're training for Muay Thai, you wrapping your hands with rope?
No,
No,
I also
no,
want to
no,
know.
no, no.
I also
Like they show us in the movies, bro.
You're
Because
right.
that's
No,
fucking
no, no.
badass,
Right.
bro.
Also, I want to know pricing wise. Like, you go there with $100, you live like a
Oh, yeah,
king
what's
for
the
3
exchange
months.
rate?
Like, what's
Man,
it?
look, it's one thing that I say. It depends of your lifestyle and what you do. When I first got there, the first thing I did was I looked at the price and everything. I was so dirt cheap. I
For
was
real?
Like, I
It
went
means
with a couple
price
of.
of a prostitute is what
I
it means.
I went to.
The man had a wife. All right. God.
I went to what's it called? I went out with my boys, and then the bill came in, and I'm like,
hear? You hear?
and I'm like, $30 for everybody. I'm like, yo, I'll
Bitch,
pay.
shit's on
I'll
me,
pay.
fool.
I'm like,
Shit's
yo,
on
I'll pay.
me.
And then my boy, like, everybody, was like, oh, thank you, whatever. But then my boy eventually told me, he's like, yo, if you plan on staying here for a long time, you better learn how to save your
that
money.
money, motherfucker.
And he like, I'm telling you because I've been here for 5 years already, and trust me, at one point I was collecting coins to pay out there. I didn't have.
Yeah, 'cause
at one
eventually you
point
run
I
out of
ended up with-
dollars.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course. At one point, I was literally getting all my stock of all the coins I was getting from over there and just trying to exchange to to buy stuff. But like I said, in the beginning, yeah, of course, you want to go travel, do these things, do the other, and you spend so much money on things and food and all this stuff. But I learned how to live like a Thai. And bro, with $1,000, I was literally living there for like 4 months, 5 months, chilling, good. But like I said,
food too, I'm sure.
Yes, very good food. But like I said, you gotta find those spots. You know, it depends on what you do. It's depending on your lifestyle.
Were you a smoker too? I feel like in Thailand they smoke a lot.
Smoking in Thailand sucks, man. It's like,
What do you mean?
They have like these freaking rocks of like weed, like man.
What's that called?
I wanted to say hashish.
Isn't it hash?
Yeah, whatever that is, man. But
No, I don't mean weed, bro. I mean cigarettes. Don't the Thai smoke fucking a lot?
Oh yeah. But I'm saying
He's
like
an
I
MMA
just seen it.
fighter.
I don't smoke cigarettes or smoke weed, so
Yeah, dude, I played soccer pretty religiously. We all still smoked in the halftime.
oh no, but no. I mean, Thai people smoke cigarettes day and night. They smoke cigarettes and drink
I
beers.
mean, it's the stereotypical image.
No, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You
I was
know?
like, I don't smoke.
They smoke cigarettes, drink beers, and fight at the same time, bro. They'll be smoking cigarettes between
Gang
rounds.
shit.
Like,
All right,
Shout out Thailand,
I was
bro.
gonna ask. Are you up there fighting and it's fucking clouds of tobacco? You know, up there. Like, is it hard to breathe while you're fighting? Or,
no,
you know,
No,
like,
but,
that's what it looks like in the damn movies, bro.
but they do smoke and they watch the fights, and you know, at the end of the day, you're focused, so you don't really see it. But like when you step out and you see the big picture, it's like a big cloud of smoke sometimes. You know,
Yeah, so he's not
But-
smoking.
Right.
Secondhand as
Secondhand.
fuck.
Is there a degree of respect for the fighters over there? How does that? How are the
But like legit fighters, I'm assuming.
right?
Absolutely, yeah,
I
of
feel like they're almost idolized a little bit or respected a little bit differently than they are here.
Yeah, man. I mean, they treat their sport. They treat it very different. The sport is very respectful. There is no. You don't go into fight like.
There's no shit talking.
No, man. I mean, it's like I said, it's more respect than anything for their sport. You know, if you look at Muay Thai fights, everything you bow, you do your ceremony first before starting. It's a show at the same time. So they go into the first round. The rounds go differently. Like if you look at it, the first round they start very soft. They start very like feeling
Testing
each
each other,
other.
yeah.
And people starting to like, you know, making their bets. Everything's about bets, by the way. Like
Yeah.
when you fight,
I was
everything
gonna
is
ask,
bets.
Do you
People are
make a
betting.
commission off of that?
People start putting bets on some people. You know, sometimes the bets go really high. They can go to like 100,000 baht Thai. So it's like
No, but I'm saying, does the fighter make a commission off of the betting?
yeah, they can. Yeah, of course. They're like, oh yo, so their coach put money on them, by the way. So that's what they do. Like the coach, they train their kids.
Oh, shit.
And the coaches bet. So sometimes their coaches bet like $2,000
Bro.
on their
Wait,
on their
Coaches
and
are
it's
fucking
legal?
pissed if you lose.
And it's legal?
No, it's illegal, but they do it. That's the thing. Betting and fighting is illegal, but you just go like,
Yeah.
okay, boom, bet is in.
Oh yeah, no, we're
And
just
then-
talking baseball
God.
talk. This is
Yeah,
just
yeah,
baseball
yeah.
talk.
So that's how they get the bets done. And believe it or not, sometimes they bet against their own
that's
kids,
fucked
and they're like, yo,
Yo, can you imagine?
hey,
bro.
but for money, for money, sometimes they're like, yo,
Just take an
To
L.
throw a
yeah,
fight?
you just gotta drop, and then you see the guy go boom, you get hit,
All right,
and then
well,
he just
now-
like
okay.
he plays possibly.
Well, now this is a serious question.
But
He
Have you
plays
taken an L?
possum.
Have you taken an L for money?
No, it's only for Thai people.
No, bro.
It's only Thai people. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
actually, that's a question. Based on a question you posed.
The longest yard, bro.
So, there's a respect for the sport, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Naturally, you know, like there's a respect for soccer everywhere else in the world.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
a respect for the sport outside of the player. The sport gets respected.
Yeah, of course.
Is there a difference between being a native Thai fighter than a foreigner? Like, are you looked at like, oh, look at this fucking foreigner coming and trying to take her shit?
Yeah, they're like, oh, damn
no,
Westerner.
so
Like, do you have to earn the respect much more because you're a foreigner than a Thai person to just, I'm gonna be a fighter?
the thing is, like I said, look, I for what I got to experience there, I got to see, it's a lot of tourism, and a lot of tourists go there to try their Muay Thai, and like I said, the coaches wants to make money out of you, so like,
Oh, yeah, they
you
just
fight
milk you.
good, and they're like, you good, oh, you want to fight, and then they put you to fight a random Thai person. Thai people, they either fighters or they are what you call tuk-tuk drivers. And then those people, they know how to fight, but they don't train for fights. So they just go to make money, just to make money, you know. So a lot of the times when you
Wait,
have,
so they'll get beat up for money?
yes,
Some
yes,
of them, but
yes,
some
and yes,
won't. Some
yes,
will
and
kick
yes.
the ass.
But like I said, bro, the moment they start losing the fight, like they get a little bit hurt, They get punch or kick and they're like, and that's it. They drop dead and they're like, that's it. But like I said, that's for tourism because they want the tourists to, it's like to
spend
feel
their
good.
money there.
The coaches, they know each other. From side to side, they know each other. So like, hey, I have this guy, he's a new guy. You have a guy there who wants to lose, what they do is they bet on the
so
other
they
guys
build sparring matches to feel real for tourists.
Yeah.
It's tourist fighting.
Yeah, and eventually, if the guy becomes good and the guy continues to fight, the guy's gonna have to fight a real fight one day, and then they make sure that one of the guys from his gym, and then they're gonna make it a money fight, and then blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? It continues from there. But like I said, of course, when you go into the land to be an actual like Muay Thai fighter, you're gonna find yourself fighting hard fights, like they're gonna put you in hard fights,
So you get your ass kicked off the beginning, just constantly.
It could, like I said, you can depending on how you train, but yeah, like you will have really hard fights. Most of the people that I know they train for real out there, they get a lot of cuts on their face. They get knocked out a lot. You gotta remember, Thai people start training when they're 6-7 years old. Their first fight for a regular Thai will be 5 years old. They start 2 5-year-olds are fighting for money already. They're putting a lot of money on those kids too. And by the time they're 20, 21, they retire. They become coaches. That's a difference. It's a difference in between that and here.
Wow.
Fight over there. You start. You're for a Thai person when you're in your 13, 14, 15. Those are your prime days. For us here in America, our prime days are 28 to 32. Like that time frame, like 33, and then after that, your prime goes away, kind of thing. The younger you start,
the more prepared you are for that prime.
Yeah, but like I said, even though these people, they end up fighting, let's say a 25-year-old goes fights a 16-year-old, even though the 26-year-old been fighting for a longer time, the 16-year-old most of the time wins because it's a fresh guy. And then it just like I said, bro, these people have cardio for days. And the other guy gets hit for so long that, like I said, one kick, they drop because they be fighting for... These people have 200 fights, 300 fights by the time they're 20.
Fuck.
23, 24. They fight every other week. And then most of these people fight for bring money for their parents. Their parents pretty much put them to fight so they can bring money so they can live. So that's what their kids pretty much, you have a son, he's going to be a Muay Thai fighter. Either that or he's going to be a tuk-tuk driver. So you get a choice. But you're a tuk-tuk driver, then you just work your ass all day, taking people like a taxi, And if you're not, then you are...
The motorcycle taxis.
The motorcycle taxis, yeah. And if not, then you're a Muay Thai fighter, then you just, make money fighting. That's what you do. You fight every week. Twice a week.
What would you say was one of the more culturally shocking things when you went there?
I'll say it's a lot of things they're crazy out there. Like people, they drive their motorcycle with like 4 or 5 kids in their bike. It's like you just see them like it's so normal for them. But like, oh my God, like cars are passing behind 60, 70 miles an hour, and these people just like 5 kids, a mom, and like freaking the dog on the side. You're like driving, drive one hand too. I seen that like the big TV, and they're like this, one person, and the other person is just driving. I moved my house 2-3 times with like all of my stuff and the bike hanging on my side. I learned how to drive. I'm a crazy ass driver when I'm out there. I moved like 3 different houses, a couple of blocks away, but it's crazy, man. Like the way they live the life like that. Obviously, like I said, yeah, the scene of the lady boys, they have these big, huge blocks where, it's like all prostitution. And I'm not new to it. Like I said, in Colombia we have prostitution as well. I live close to. We live close. I live really close to places like that. So the prostitution, I'm not shocked about it. But it's just like I said, I've never seen so many lady boys. I think gays.
So it is real. It is the way they put it in movies then.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you think you're talking
What's the technical?
You're talking to a girl and you're not. It's a guy.
And he's got a tuk-tuk.
He has a tuk-tuk. Gotta be careful.
Tuk-tuk. Golly. And then what was your actual experience in the Muay Thai facility that you were training at? You said you were there for 2 years. Were you training there for the 2 years in the same location for the entirety of your stay there?
Yeah. So my first year and a half, like I said, I got the sponsorship, so I stayed with them. It was great, man. I got to train with a lot of UFC fighters. Peter Yan was one of them as well. I got to train with him. I got to train with Alex Volkanovski as well. I met him out there too. Wow. He was pretty much friends with all of like with the Honey Badger. He's been there for a long time. They trained together back in 2014, so they always come in and out. So they always pop up, and you're like, oh, you know, Mark Hunt, I was there. He's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, what's up? Like, just chilling with them. Like we literally just train with the same coaches. We go out for food, and it's so normal. It's like sometimes, you know, when you meet someone, you're like, oh, he's a famous person. You're like, oh shit, you know. Right. But always did it like, hey, what's up, man? How are you? You know, like, it's just like, it's like whatever. So I just got so used to that. But I just feel like the people who just came to the gym constantly, like Bellator fighters, all the big organizations from Middle East, you know, like everybody just come to the gym to train. So it was crazy the amount of talent that I got to like, you know, put work with. It was amazing. Also, they gave me an opportunity to be a coach, as a boxing coach. So I was assisting boxing coach. So when the coaches will be out coaching other people or for fights, they will put me to do that. And I had, I don't know, 75, 80 people per class. And I have to like, all right, beginners on one side. Yeah. Some, in heavy season, we'll have like 140 people.
Oh my God.
That camp is huge, man. Like 500 people can walk through one day, in and out, going to different classes. We have classes from the mornings, 6 in the morning is the first class. Last class is like at 8 o'clock at night, and it's every hour. So every hour is like a different class. Wow. And it just like non-stop. So for me, at least when it came down to like making money, it was good because I had what I call the Chinese connection. We had
what's his name? The guy with the ponytail, right? That's the movie. That's the
which one?
Is that not a fucking movie? Seagal, isn't that Steven Seagal?
Steven Seagal,
right?
Yeah.
The Chinese connection.
That's another guy. So shout out to Steven Seagal.
Hell yeah.
We know he's watching.
Hell yeah.
So he's always watching.
Yes.
What's it called? What was I saying? Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I jumped in on that one. You were making money because.
Because like I said, once we have a time where the Chinese people have like the Chinese New Year, so that they celebrate there. So they come to Thailand, and they bring these big, huge groups to do like martial arts there, right? And some of these guys, when they come to like the boxing and stuff, they're like, "Yo, I like your style." But they choose their coach. They're like, "Oh, can I get 15 classes, 2 weeks?" So we're like, "All right, 2 classes a day." And then they'll pay you right in there, boom, $1,000, 2 weeks. And then you have somebody else, and they're like, boom, I want 2, boom, here. So now I'm making $2,000 in 15 days just by having 2 people. Just back-to-back classes. Boom, boom, boom. They're like, oh, can I get 2 classes today? I'm like, sure. Let's do one in the morning, one in the evening. And then it does not interrupt my own training. I train, I teach them. I train, I teach them. Right. And that's how I live my life. So I was able to make money like that. Like I said, I was getting paid on the side, so I was good because I didn't have a work visa. So that's one good thing that I had from Tiger. They allowed me to do that. They're like, all right, you know, they will give you money through this. Sometimes I take money on the side, you know, they will pay me myself and I just use the facility. So nobody will tell me nothing because you know, everybody knew me there. So it was fun. So yeah, like that was good. Like the facility itself has the best. Well, like I said, the best coaches they have in Phuket. They are there. Definitely, they are there.
You lived in Phuket?
Yeah.
It sounds like this is the premier location as far as Thailand to train at.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I believe that's like one of the best and bigger camps in Asia as well. Like,
wow,
it's huge, man. That camp is big, man. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They have like 4 or 5 sides of Muay Thai for beginners, intermediate, the pros, another one for like all the people that you're starting. Then you have your CrossFit area, and then you have your MMA area all the way in the back. Wow. And then you have another side. And then you have rooms too all around the gym.
Wow. So it sounds like a damn mall over here, bro.
It's a freaking paradise. And then that's in one little street, right? So that's the first thing you see on the street. Once you go out, literally it feels like what is it called? The strip of Vegas, right? Like you just walk down the street and then
that's why I was surprised, because Phuket is known to be like the party location in Southeast Asia, specifically Thailand. Yep. Phuket, Actually, I didn't know it was called Phuket. I used to call it Fuck It.
Fuck it, yeah.
Because it's spelled PH.
Yep.
You know, so I assumed it was Fuck It, but
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody
Well, there
thinks
you go.
that too.
Yeah.
It's like they have the island. It's called PP Island,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's called Fifi. If people say Fifi Island, and now it's called PP Island because it's PH.
Exactly.
PHI.
Ah,
yeah, it's spelled
Yeah.
PHUCK. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's Fuck It Island.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after a year, they're like, nah,
Yeah.
bro, it's
It's
Fuck
Phuket.
It, dude.
Yeah,
Calm
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, every single week we have two segments. You know what I'm talking about. And the second one is actually the quest for the truth. You know what I'm talking about. And in this here beautiful quest for the truth, I get a damn random card from this here deck of cards. You know what I'm talking about. And I ask said question to our illustrious guests as well as the other people sitting around me.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
You know what? I'm actually going to do a random one today.
Oh,
I'm going to
shit.
pick the first one. And the first
It's only
one,
been like a year and a half.
bro,
About time, right?
God damn.
I'll do my fifth amendment. Like,
Jonathan, what's the best advice you've ever received?
whew.
Fuck it.
That sounds bad.
Fuck it.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Give me a second to think about that one.
Best
Everybody
advice.
thinking,
'Cause
because
I
everybody's going to answer.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, let me see. The best advice.
Man, I don't think like one singular piece of best advice. I don't know that.
And I received so many great advice from people that helped me out through some of the times in my some of the what's it called, like moments in my life that I was going through. So there were great advice during the time, But then
Right.
as we go, then people give you other advice. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's
good
what
for
I'm
life
saying,
too,
like-
But I guess I mean there's a lot of people who have told me before, like like no matter what, like how scary it is, just still do it, Like people always tell me like I had this thing, like I said, even when I went to Thailand and stuff like that. People I had one of my best friends, Juan Tapia. He always told me, he's like, man, because I told him, yo, it's scary, you're going to first. I'm traveling 28 hours on a plane. Never done that before. That's scary as fuck. I always been afraid of planes. I'm like, what if that shit crash? What if
It's a long time to crash,
bro. What happens if we're not of gas in the middle of the way? Like, there's no gas stations in the sky, So I'm just thinking, like, of course, like I said, just that type of thing, like ignorance. So like, oh, and he like, man, if it's scary, fucking do it, man. Just live it.
Hell yeah,
live
he
it.
said,
Because at
fuck
the end
it.
of the day, like, it's more scared people in the world, out in the world than people who actually take action, So just the fact that a person could be able to take action and can be able to talk about this, people will be like, oh shit, can't believe this guy did that,
Right.
So it comes with the reward at the same time, So not just for anything in life, even for fighting, like it's a scary thing too, Like I'm walking in, I don't know if I'm gonna get knocked out. I don't even know that guy who I'm fighting. I don't know shit about him. I'm about to just, swing hands with him. And it's a scary moment. Not that you're being scared at the moment, but it's that feeling, and that's at the same time that's what you want to do. It's like, fuck it, just do it.
Right.
So I had people who told me that before. I told my friend, like, yo, just as scary it is, just do it. So I'll say that's one of them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. To my right hand side, Emi, what is some of the best advice you've received?
I don't know if it was meant for advice, but one time, I don't even remember what the fuck we were talking about. I don't think it's relevant to the story, but we were talking. I was, I guess, giving like an excuse for why I didn't do something or why I didn't fulfill something that I said I was gonna do or something like that. I don't even remember who I was talking to, but I just remember they told me, they were like, "Look, you can, if you want to lie." It was something along the lines like, "If you want to lie to me, that's cool. Just don't lie to yourself." Something along those lines, right?
Another one.
And that like rung really true. And I've always just associated to the Scarface line of, "Who do I trust? Me. That's who." Like, it was one of those things where like, it doesn't matter what you say to the rest of the world, as long as you're doing what you're doing for you and you're fulfilling what you're doing that you said you were going to do to yourself. I mean, the rest is just bullshit, right? The rest is just jokes and games. But that, I think, I don't know that meant advice. I think the person was just frustrated with me. He just said that shit, but it really stuck with me.
Yeah.
Gang.
It's always good to be true to yourself, man.
Hell yeah. Ignacio, what is...
And hit us with that
hell yeah.
that yo.
Hit us with that yo. What is some of the best advice that you've ever received? Yeah, no, I mean, there's a reason why I was fucking trying to elongate the fucking question so you can get up and, but it's fine. I was like, I need people.
He's adding to the suspense.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I guess I wouldn't really call it life-changing advice, but something I've been told is to, work hard when you're young, because, that's why we're young, to reward yourself later, to live comfortable. So that's kind of what I live by. I mean, right now at least.
Hell yeah.
So,
Yeah. Grind through your youth.
Yeah,
For sure.
I mean, I want to be able to live comfortable later on in my life, so that's why I'm grinding hard now.
In his 30s, he's going to say.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, bro. Slide. He calls us old on the slide. Dude. He calls us old on the slide.
Yeah,
Let's go.
man, but that's a good one, man.
That is
I
a
wish
good
I would have had that advice when I was younger,
Yeah.
But it's never too late.
It's never too late. And that's a damn fact. That's a good one. That's a very good one.
I like that.
I'm trying to think of one right now. When I watched Johnny Tsunami, he was like, "Go big or go home," and that really resonated within me. So I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Go big or go home. Johnny Tsunami. He was the Asian guy. He snowboarded and he had a black best friend.
Is this a movie?
Yeah, Disney Channel original movie. Banger, like banger,
No fucking
banger.
idea,
Okay,
bro.
are we gonna pretend like, all right, you know what? You see the poster on the screen. I don't give a fuck.
Grillos, weón.
Bro, that is
Grillos.
a banger. And you know what? Whoever gets that reference understands
Johnny
it and
Tsunami.
appreciates it. Chino, lastly, before we start wrapping up, I did want to ask you, what is... God, that man is urinating himself right now. What is, if you could summarize your experience in Thailand into, a couple sentences, one sentence or two or whatever, what would you say that you learned and you took away from that experience?
I mean, it was a lot of growing that I got to experience when I was in Thailand. I feel like when I left Miami, I had a different mentality. Even that I still had the same of like, I'm gonna fight and stuff like that. It was a different growth at the same time. Just exploring the world, not just Thailand. I went to Australia as well, and I got to experience different things. Like I said, in the fighting world, I like the fact that I was able to fight in a different country, and due to that, like even the way you fight there, like you don't know the person who you're fighting until you get into the ring. Not like here that months before, like who
Right.
I'm fighting, and everybody like, oh, let me search. Over there, like, all right, you're fighting next week. Yeah, I only have like a week of preparation or 2 weeks preparation the most. And
Wow.
And then you're fighting someone, and you only know the person when you guys both stand up on each side of the
There's no watching
side
tape.
platform.
There's no...
You're seeing that guy right there, and they call your name, and then you walk out, and then he walks out right behind you, and then you go into the ring, and then you look at him across, and then you fight. So you don't know shit about him. Even the weight classes. There's no
That's
weight
pretty cool, though.
There's no weight classes. They're like, how much you weigh? They're like, oh, 61 kilo. You 65 kilo. Okay, you the same saying. Go. That's how it is. So that
How
was,
God
Bro,
intended, bro.
amen, bro. I'm 180 on that day. I'm sorry, bro. Like,
I had to fight guys that were like bigger than me, and they're like, oh, how much you weigh? I'm like 61. I'm like, okay, he's 61 too. And then I look, the guy like 70, and I'm like, fuck, all right, let's do it. But I think that when it comes down to fighting, I don't get nervous because no matter who I fight, I just take it as how life it is. Like if I'm ever getting into a fight, I don't know if the guy's gonna want to punch me or not. If I have to fight him, I have to fight him. So fuck it.
like, wait, what weight class are you?
It's such a lifestyle out there. Like I said, it just becomes natural. And for me, be able to experience that out there, it was like I said, an amazing experience for that. Like I said, just be able to travel, meet people, see new things, new places. Like I said, my mind grow, and it made me so much wiser to many experiences that I had out there. It was crazy experiences all over. Not just the fighting world, but I said mentally, emotionally.
There's a lot of
all this
growth.
stuff. It's a lot of growth.
Personal
man.
growth,
yeah.
yeah.
Personal growth. To me, it was mostly like I said, my personal growth, the person who I am today. even through the goods and especially the bads. You know, like it's like when they say like when you win a fight, you learn a lot, but when you lose, you
that's when you learn the most.
So the same thing for me. Like I said, even in my good times in Thailand, I lived it up, and in the worst times that I had really bad times there too. I got to grow so much, and what I am right now, I'm just like I said, it makes me appreciate life so much more. You know, just due to all the experience that I got to collect. I'll say.
God, that's beautiful. Can we please give it up for the man of the hour, Jonathan Chino Calderon? God, first, thank you so much for dropping on by today, brother. Seriously,
you broke my heart though when you said they didn't wrap up their hands.
Yeah, a little bit.
No,
God, I want to
feel
go to
lied to
Thailand
Jean-Claude,
now.
but that's okay. We'll let it slide.
God, the man is fighting, ladies and gentlemen. The man is going to win. I'll tell you that much. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
The man's right here. By the time you guys see this, the man is a week out, and the man is looking swole. The man's looking ripped. The man's ready. You know what I'm talking about. Can you please give the people whom they clamor the information? When are you fighting? Where can they follow you? Where can they follow your journey to the top of the MMA contention series, ladies and gentlemen?
All right, guys. So I'll be fighting April 16th for Combate America here in Miami, Florida. So far, I do not know if we're allowed to have spectators or not. We're still working on that, but you can follow me on John N, so JONN Calderon. That's my Instagram. And I'll be posting more about it. So
you see it on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. There's no excuse. You can't misspell it because, boom, you can read it unless, you're Floyd. What's happening? Shout out Floyd. What else do you feel? You feel ready?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel ready. Like I said, I had to adjust a couple of little things from my last fight to this fight. But as far as, like I said, my body feels great. Training has been amazing as well. I'm just ready, man. I've been just dying for it to come so I can be able to
perform. You can feel it. The man just wants to get in there.
I can guarantee it's gonna be fireworks, man. My fights never been boring, man.
And that's facts.
You look at my fights from like I said, any fight you can see of me, man. I'm absolutely confident on my talent and the way I fight.
The man said, I don't even have to suggest a video. You look at all of them, they're all gonna be amazing. Man, and that's beautiful. That's sure. God, can we please give it up for this man one more time, Jonathan Chino Calderon? Do you know if they're doing a live stream?
I think it's gonna be televised as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's Telemundo or Univision. Which one is it?
I mean, they're both the thing.
I don't know. I don't know who would have it.
I think it's Telemundo because Combate America is from South America. Mostly, like I think they do the shows in
so Combate
Mexico.
America has a contract with one of them.
Yeah, so they usually do, but I'm not sure because I don't know what's going on right now because they're coming here. I know they put something that they're doing on YouTube as well.
Okay.
But I know they're gonna have some type of live stream. Just at the moment they haven't said anything. Like I said, we might have audience, but I just don't know.
Well, by the time you see this, we'll probably have an update and you'll see it on the screen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Follow the man. The man is on his journey to the top, and he's gonna get there, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm talking about. Chino, thank you so much for dropping on by. It was truly a magnificent episode. Stories for days. I mean, the man's been to Thailand. I mean, what more can you say? We can't wait for the next episode to bring you on. We can go over some highlights post-fight, see just how well you whipped ass on the 16th. You know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, every Thursday at midnight, you know what it is. Where can they go, Emi? Where can they check us out? You go on iHeartRadio. You go on iHeartRadio. You go on Spotify. You go on Apple Podcasts.
On Deezer.
You go on Deezer. You go
YouTube.
YouTube is the most important one.
YT.
Bro, hit that subscribe. Hit that damn subscribe button. It's there already. It's red. Make it white. And that's not racial. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Let's do this. Thank you so much. We will see you every Thursday at midnight. Holla. And it don't matter what the world thinks. You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami. When you can push it to the limit, it gets real with only one and ill. Get locked into midnight.